All right, I had a customer bring in this Poulan, I'm not sure how you say it, but it is a 2050 Pioneer, and said they had been sitting in their garage for 5, 6, 7 years. They haven't been using it. They used to go camping a lot and would just, or dry camping a lot, boondocking, and they would cut up firewood, but they haven't used it, and wanted to see if I could get it to run for them. First thing I noticed was I just reached up to push the bulb to see if it would push any gas through it, and the bulb broke. So yep, we're gonna have to do some work on the carburetor and probably replace all the fuel lines. I've already pulled out the filter, which focus. It's pretty rough looking, but we'll have another filter for it. I went ahead and took off the chain just to make sure that the oiling port, which is right here, was open, because it had a bunch of crap in it. So we got that cleaned up a little bit. Now we're going to first off we will have another little issue here with the pull rope not going all the way back in, but I know that I'm going to have to pull this primer bulb out. I know there's 2 screws holding it on, and it's behind this cover, so we'll go ahead and take this cover off. Then we'll take the top cover off, and I will show you in just a few minutes of what it looks like inside. Okay, this looks like it's a T25 Torx. Let's pull this side cover off. See what we have in here. I've never pulled one of these off before, so I told him I'd try it just because I had never used or worked on one of these, so kind of a learning experience. 4 screws. I don't know if I'm going to need an extension to get to that one. You can also use a flat blade screwdriver to get these off. So if you don't have the Torx screws, you can use a flat blade. It should just pull right off. May have to work on that spring a little bit. And looks like it has been in here for a while, because I'm not sure what that is. It's like maybe a dirt dauber, but I don't know. No, that's some kind of feed. They do have a lot of animals, so something has brought some of their feed pellets in. So now you can see now you can see what it looks like. This bulb has 2 Phillips screws on each side, and you take those 2 out, and then if you can see this little slot right here, your gas line's going to hook onto the back of it. You'll be able to pull those out up through that slot. So let me get the cover off, and then I'll get back to you. So there are 3 screws that are holding this top on. There's one right here on the corner, one right over here on the corner, and then one right up here on the front. After you loosen those up, you can just pull this off. I have to get them all the way off first. this pulls off. And you can kind of turn it to the side and get it off. Nice big spider right there. Looks like he might have been there for a few days or years. So we'll set that over to the side. And it looks like it's pretty nasty here. So air filter, probably need a new one of those. And then you have two small bolts right here that's going to hold the air filter base in place, and those also connect to the, looking at it, it also connects the carburetor. So whenever you take this off, this black piece will pull out, and then the carburetor will be loose as well, and then you can pull it out. Then we'll look at where the fuel lines go. Okay, to pull these two bolts off, I'm using a 5/16. I couldn't find a, I know it's a metric, but I couldn't find a metric that would work. So but this seems to be working pretty well. We'll just continue with it. So we got a few things going on with this deal, but we'll resolve all of the issues, get it running. First, we'll pull this spark plug off, which is kind of odd because the spark plug is actually loose. So now this cover comes off somehow. Let's see what we got holding this on over here. Alright, let's see what this does. Well, the top one wants to come off, but that bottom one doesn't. Okay, so these are your carburetor. It's the carburetor adjuster covers. They're full of dirt too, so we're going to have to clean those out. I don't know if you can see. I don't know if you can see well enough. There's a red, and the blue for the air, or the fine adjustments on the carburetor. Now this piece should just pull right off. So here's your adjustments for your carburetor here on the side. Like I said, whenever you pull these two bolts off, this whole thing pulls out. So you have a little rubber area there that's holding the choke in. I'm going to pull this carburetor off. One thing I can see is that the fuel lines are already so brittle, they just fell off when I grabbed a hold of it. And let's pull this off. And it's pretty nasty in here, so we'll clean that up a little bit as well. Set it over here. As you can see, here's our fuel lines just laying around where they're not supposed to be. It's pretty nasty in there, so I'm going to get this cleaned up so that we can have a clean working surface, and then take these two screws out, pull the bulb off of it, the hoses have already broken off of them, and then we'll find out where everything goes into the tank and goes to the bulb. Okay, back to the Poulan. First thing that we had to do, well, I had to replace all of the fuel lines on it because they were all cracked up, broke. Just to give you an idea, this top line on your carburetor goes to the fuel tank. That's connected to your fuel filter. This line goes to the goes to the bulb, and then you have one coming out of the bulb that goes over. It's hard to see in here. I don't have a flashlight, but this line comes over, and there's a hole right here that goes in for the return. So whenever you put your carburetor back on, then you'll put your air filter on. And I need a new air filter. That one's a little dirty. We already pumped this bulb up a little bit. Let's pull our choke out. Make sure it's turned on. So there we go. Another success. So thanks everybody for watching. I hope this was informative for you. If you have any questions, please leave a comment leave a question in the comments. And as always, I will see you on the next video. Thanks for watching.